What's up, internet? My name is Mello, and today I want to talk about One Piece, but more specifically, Devil Fruit Awakenings. Are you ready? So, I'm curious, have you ever wondered what Luffy's awakening would be? Now, it was stated by Doflamingo that a devil fruit user's awakening affects the environment. However, I don't believe this to be true for every devil fruit, obviously. I believe that a devil fruit user's awakening is determined by how that devil fruit was used. Now, for those in the audience who are a little confused, don't worry, I've got you. I come bearing examples. And as an example, let's take, say, Ace and Sabo, right? The same devil fruit abilities, but applied in two different ways. Because Sabo is so new with the Mera no Mi, he is not as creative as Ace is in the application of his fruit's abilities. He utilizes his fire powers to augment his strikes. Whereas Ace, he utilizes his fire abilities in more diverse and creative ways. And why wouldn't he? After all, he's had years to develop his fruit's power, but apparently he's lacking in the hockey department. But we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to push that over there. Yeah. Now, because of the way that Ace utilizes his fruit, I believe that his awakening would be fundamentally different than Sabo's, even though they share the exact same fruit. Ace's awakening may very well be environmental based, whereas Sabo's awakening might be to further enhance his physical capabilities. And one of the ways that his fruit can go about doing this is by increasing the temperature of the fire that Sabo uses to cause more damage. Bruh, imagine Sabo with blue flames. Man, I'm talking about the kind of heat that burns anything that it touches to ash. Whoosh, gone. Now let's take a look at somebody like Luffy. Are we really expected to believe that his awakening is going to infect the environment? Really? How would this help Luffy at all? How would this help Luffy in a battle? Seriously. I'm wondering, you're wondering, we're all wondering. Because what I know is that he doesn't utilize environmental attacks in any of his fights. Like, ever. So, what does he do? Well, he utilizes body augmentation. Yeah. In Gear 2nd, he utilizes the pumping of his blood to increase his speed and so on, right? And in Gear 3rd, he blows air into his bones in order to expand his limbs, etc., right? And in Gear 4th, he blows air into his muscles in order to enhance the powers of his strikes, etc., etc. You get what I'm going? I believe that Luffy's awakening has to add some kind of benefit to him, right? That's not some radical notion. It's not some crazy idea. It has to be of worth to him. The devil fruit is going to look back at how it was used and apply its awakening accordingly. Now, we have to ask ourselves, right? What's the one thing that Luffy needs at this particular point in time? Anybody? Any takers? Well, let me ask you this. Can we isolate and identify any critical weaknesses that Luffy has? Anybody? It's his stamina. Luffy has awful stamina. It's the one thing holding him back at this particular point in the story. Now, we all know how powerful Gear 4th is, right? And we're all familiar about the stamina problems that accompany it. Luffy can scrap for a while, sure, but then his stamina runs dry and he's left vulnerable, unable to utilize his haki for at least 10 minutes. But hell, man, all of Luffy's abilities are like that. Double-edged swords. Now imagine Luffy's awakening taking into consideration this fundamental deficiency. Imagine his awakening providing him with the kind of body that he needs to sustain Gear 4th and beyond. A body with an absurd amount of stamina. A body that virtually eliminates the time limit that Luffy has in his most powerful state. You see, I don't believe that Luffy's awakening needs to be anything flashy. See, I can envision a scene playing out something like this. Luffy is going up against the Yonko. Maybe Kaido, maybe Shanks, maybe Blackbeard. And in the middle of the battle, when all seems lost, Luffy activates his awakening and everybody looks on in anticipation. The anime plays this epic music that builds up to the moment where Luffy's awakening is finally revealed. Steam covers his body, and when the steam finally fades away, all you see is Luffy standing there looking the same as he did before he even activated his awakening. This will cause everybody looking on to the battle to believe that Luffy botched the awakening, that he somehow messed up at this critical junction in the battle. His opponent will laugh hysterically and maybe even mock him, depending on who it is, of course. But Luffy, ooh, our cool Luffy, that's my boy, ooh, he would just stand there with this smirk on his face because he knows his awakening is not flashy. His awakening does one thing, and one thing only. Provides him with the body that he needs. A durable body. A body with high stamina that can sustain any damage or stress that he puts onto it. So he enters into gear 4th or whatever he has at the moment. Gear 5, gear 6, whatever. And he starts fighting. And he keeps fighting. And he keeps fighting. And he keeps fighting. And at some point, people are going to catch on. People are going to notice, hey man, he ain't running out of stamina. What's going on? Could this be what Luffy's awakening is? A flawless, perfect gear form. You see, to me, this makes perfect sense. That an awakening should be in what? An asset, not a liability. An awakening should be an addition, not a subtraction. An awakening that takes into consideration the application of the fruit. A devil fruit that takes into account the way that it's being used through body augmentation in this case. A devil fruit that can identify key deficiencies in the application of its abilities, and through its awakening, provide the user with a body that amends these deficiencies. That, folks, is what Luffy's devil fruit awakening will be. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and rate. This is Mello signing out. I'll catch you on the next one.